welcome to 40 Day Legacy. This is Raquel, and I'm introducing the final finished quilt of what I called Stand and Bloom. It was made from a pattern called Boot Scoot and Boogie by Poppy Cotton, and I didn't do it exactly the same way as the pattern, so if you have that pattern or you've seen it, mine is not going to look the same because I changed it up a little bit. So the first part is, at Christmas time, I had bought my husband a pair of boots, and he bought me a pair of boots. And with me, if any of you know me, I love boots. And so it's always, God talks to me through boots, and I realized that, and I asked the Lord, why does it always have to do with boots with me? And boots are, when you talk about digging your heels in or digging in, I was a Marine, I wore combat boots for years of my life, and they have such a meaning for me personally. But then when I wrote this really nice letter thing in my husband's present, and it was just something that the Lord gave me. And so as I was looking at a lot of the scriptures that I like to use, a lot of them had to do with boots or stomping or treading upon, things that you would wear boots to do. And so I just came across this pattern one day at the sewing machine store, and normally we don't, buy things like that. I usually use a lot of scraps. A lot of my fabric is donated to me, and so this was kind of a whim, kind of an unusual thing for us, but we decided to splurge, and I got it, and I did this, and I have absolutely enjoyed it from start to finish. So the center block is our feet are shod with the gospel of peace. And that is a scripture from Ephesians chapter 6, where he's talking about putting on the whole armor of God. So I thought that was a really good one to put in the center of it. And then as we zoom in or zoom out so you can see the whole thing, there it is. It's got all my favorite scriptures in it, and then it has the flowers at the top and bottom, the border. That was part of the pattern, although I used a different flower than what they had on there. And so I did change it up a little bit, but that's the bloom part of it. So we stand on the scriptures, the gospel, the word of the Lord, and we will eventually bloom if you do not faint or grow weary. So you can't really read them, each of them, so I'm going to tell you what each of the scriptures are at the bottom. So it's Psalm 91:13, Genesis 3:15, Psalm 91:13, and that's like the first and second part of that. Joshua 1:9, that one has special meaning to me. Luke 10:19, Matthew 6:23, Ephesians 6:15, Mark 8:33, Psalm 104, Joshua 1:3, Psalm 139:3, 2 Samuel 6:14, and Psalm 30:11. So I really hope that you enjoy this, and I encourage you, if you don't have scriptures that you like to stand on, they go from stomping on the devil to telling him to get behind you to putting on the armor of God. And of course, it's at the bottom, but it's definitely not least. It's worship and praising the Lord and using your feet or your boots for dancing and praising. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I just want to say thank you for listening and have a great evening or day, whenever you're listening, and happy family building.